Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, no matter where you are or where you are or what time it is for you. If this is live, give me a hello in the comments. If this is not, if you're watching this on replay, give me a hashtag replay. Let me know who you are and where you are from. So, what is emotional intelligence and how can you foster it in your child? Put simply, emotional intelligence is the ability to understand, manage, and use your own emotions and the emotions of others. Sounds like heaven to me. Um, Fostering emotional intelligence in children is crucial to their overall well-being and their their overall well-being and their I'm sorry, success in life. I got a little bit confused there. We as parents are, can be, and are the emotional intelligence superheroes when we actively support and nurture our kids' emotional development. But how do we do this? The question. Uh, but first, for those of you meeting for the first time, I'm Mary Kerwin, and I'm a mom, I'm a grandma, I'm a teacher turned coach, and the founder of Competent Families and of the Encourage Greatness Parenting Group. I truly believe that you are the best parent for your kids, but I also believe in the power of learning and growth, and that no one really does this parenting thing alone. Uh, I'm a firm believer in the importance of personal connections. I value meaningful discussions, exchange of ideas, and building a supportive community because together we can learn and grow in a positive and collaborative environment. But I'd love to know about who you are, so give me a little hit up in the comments. Back to emotional intelligence, or EI as the jargon calls it. Here are some strategies to help you become that superhero. Number one is model. It sets an example for your kids to follow. And teach emotional awareness. Help your children identify and label emotions and encourage them to express their feelings and validate their experiences. Create a safe, non-judgmental environment where they'll feel comfortable discussing their emotions. And to do this, you promote emotional vocabulary. If you expand your kids' emotional vocabulary by introducing them to a wide range of emotions and their corresponding words, it helps them to better articulate and communicate what they're feeling, and that leads to more self awareness and emotional expression. There are a range of emotions that get masked by the top four, the strongest. Um, the greatest and probably the most primitive, since it originates from our early reptile brain, is fear. But is coming in a close second is anger, and the third big emotion is sadness or sorrow. And there's a light at the end of the tunnel because the final big emotion is joy. Um, I'm going to talk about anger for a minute. Anger is a basic emotion, one that's universal to all humans, and where it gets a little trickier is that anger often shows up as a secondary emotion because it happens as a reaction to another, usually more complicated emotion that's lying underneath it. And if you think about kids, they're quick to jump to their anger is quick to jump to the rescue of their emotions for a couple of reasons. Because anger is a survival, adaptive motion for humans. It signals the possibility of a threat. It helps us communicate with others, and it moves us forward to whatever we have in mind, the behavior we have in mind. The second is it's easier to express than deep and vulnerable emotions. It gives us an illusion of power. It gives us control in the moment where, in fact, we're likely feeling weak and emotionally fragile. And the third is that kids are much more impulsive with emotions, well, most kids, some adults are still doing that, uh, due to this still developing frontal lobe and cortex. We go down one of two paths when our kids start screaming at us or have a fit or however you want to call it. We get not always, but usually the mode is we get frustrated at the anger and then we jump into a power struggle, or we feel panicky and quickly try to shut the anger down with giving them a toy or distracting them, or that oh so unhelpful calm down, calm down. But it doesn't help. Kids need ongoing support and teaching to cultivate healthy relationships with their emotions. Everyone has anger. It doesn't make it bad. Um, but there are ways to deal with it that are sometimes more acceptable than others. But be proactive, not reactive. Talking about intense emotions in the heat of a meltdown or an argument is going to be 110% worthless. Why? Because when your child, or anyone else for that matter, is in a state of high emotional arousal, they aren't going to hear or remember much or anything of what you're saying. We know that when the emotional center of the brain is highly activated, we lose access to the thinking part of the brain. That's why your mind goes blank when you're when you're either very nervous or very scared. Provide frequent and ongoing opportunities to talk about emotions and coping skills for anger and the other big emotions and even minor emotions in everyday life. So your child has a toolbox, a chance to listen and hear and commit these life changing skills to memory. You give them a lifeline. And the most powerful way you can help a child who has high emotions is to stay calm yourself. What's going on here? Next to experience intense emotions themselves, seeing a parent lose control tops the list of things that scare a child. You are your kid's guide, post, their mentor. You are the architect of your family, and they are counting on you to stay in control when they can't. And here's the cold, hard truth. If you are not ready to hold yourself accountable when your emotions are running high, don't expect your kid to. You teach through modeling. You set the example for your kids to follow. But the second thing, most healthy way, yeah, model healthy ways. Model healthy ways of dealing with stress, anger, sadness, and other emotions, and then teach them an emotional vocabulary, because you're giving them a better vehicle, a better way to understand what they're experiencing and how to express it um, properly, appropriately. Properly is not the right word. Appropriately. Um, Fostering emotional intelligence is an ongoing process that requires patience and consistent effort and consistent modeling of yourself and them. Uh, but by becoming a emotional intelligence superhero for your kids, you can help them navigate their emotions, build healthier relationships, and thrive in all aspects of life. So if you have any questions or need advice or simply want to have an interesting conversation, I'm here for you. Feel free to reach out and we'll go down this parenting pathway together. Ciao, ciao for now. Speak soon.